Welcome back to another episode of Smackin, Steel and Talking Shit. So as you saw in the title, whoops. So today I'm going to be trying to make a gambrel. It's basically a coat hanger. So when you go hunting, and because my brother's big on hunting, I haven't made him a Christmas present yet because I didn't know what to make him, so he just asked me, so I'll make me a gambrel. So I'm going to have a go. Basically, it's like a coat hanger, essentially. So when you go to butcher the deer, instead of crawling around on the ground and all the dirt and getting dirt in your meat and stuff like that, you can hang it up and you can butcher it that way. So essentially, it's 600 mil across. It's got two hooks that you hook the deer onto and you hoist it up into the tree, and then you can just work on it there. So that's one of the main things I'm doing. So that's for the gambrel. That big piece there. These are, I'm going to try making dinner bells. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try. So I'm just going to make like triangle, basic triangle shape out of this. Not put any twists in one of them, just to see if it works. And then if it does work, we'll make the second one a bit more artistic. And then on top of that, we've also got this. So if you look in there, we've got a bunch of copper. I'm going to melt that and put it in a mold, and I'm not going to put it in the water because there is a video on my channel of what happens when you put molten copper in water, and spoiler alert, it's not good. So I'm going to fire it forge and get started. Now, I feel like this is a bit like moon karaoke. No one's actually watching this at the moment, but maybe in time someone will see what I'm doing and come along and be like, oh yeah, I'll watch that. Who knows? Who knows? These things are never certain. So, before I fire it up, I'll put this on. Alright, so before I do anything, I'm going to put on my gloves, and I'm going to go find the tongs so I can handle this crucible full of molten copper. So I can do that first. It's going to at least have to sit in there for a little bit until it heats up enough and starts to actually melt. So I'm going to go do that. You stay right there, I'll be back. Right, I've got these handy tongs that can handle the crucible. Just want to check if that angle's working. I just realised my whole anvil and mat has some shit. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Taking that out is going to be really fun. I reckon that's going to be the trickiest part. Just trying to take that thing out. And you can hear it's in there, it's heating up. While that's doing that, we'll start with one of these dinner bells. See what happens. I honestly don't know how it's going to turn out. This is part of that fucking around and finding out that I always talk about. We're doing the fucking around part. We're probably going to find out in about 2 minutes whether it works or not. Also, my guitar strap broke, so I need to make a new buckle for that, and I figured why not have a go. But also, while I'm doing that, so this is what I've been doing over the past couple of days. I'm making a guitar stand, welding one, because I need to get better at welding, so I figured big project that'll help. Some of the weld's good, some of the weld's not so much, but you won't know unless you try, honestly. So that's heating up. Who we got? We've got one person watching. Say hi if you want. Or ask me a question, because we've got to tick the talking shit part of this smacking steel and talking shit. So I've already been hitting steel today, so if you want to ask me a question so we can check that box, that'd be good. I've been in the shed all day, that's why I look like crap. And the forge, for some reason, lately has been taking a lot longer to heat up than it should. And it's really grinding my gears. That's why it's important. Because the crucible has been stealing all the heat in the forge, so there's been no heat anywhere. Who we got? Yo, Chrissy boy, what up? Actually, speaking of Christy Lee, how was your Christmas? What did you get? Or, better yet, what did someone make for you? Tell me all about it. I want to know. So we finally started the Smackin steel bar. Still waiting on the talking shit part. And might have peaked a bit too early with that one. That'll do. Right, and that's going to be hot as shit. Basically, we're going to support the work for a minute. That's all going to be. Oh, you liked it, sub. Thanks, man. That's cool. I am from Australia. How about yourself? Say something cool. Look, I'm an awkward guy. I don't really have anything cool to say. There's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. There's a piece of life advice that you can take with you. And can confirm it is mostly true. Obviously, there's some environments that it doesn't matter what clothing you're wearing, it's going to suck. But for the most part, wearing the right clothing for the right environment is going to help you. So, you're from Australia as well. What part? I'm in. Don't tell me like exactly where you're from. I don't need your street address, but like what town in Australia, or even state. I'll be happy with that. I'm in Queensland. If you can't tell, I'm from Queensland. Place called Warwick. Well, I'm not from here, but I live here. Yep, I peaked too early. I peaked too early, guys. Okay. Yes. Brisbane. You're only a couple of hours from. Yeah, so I don't know if you know what Warwick is, but we're 2 and a bit hours west. The Google Maps always says 2.5 hours to Brisbane, but that's a bloody lie because it takes longer than that. The highway that I have to drive on to get to Brisbane, trashed. The moment I hit Brisbane, beautiful roads. It's ridiculous. But that's Queensland for you. I think that's most of Australia, to be honest. Like, I thought the roads were bad up north from where I'm from. I got nothing on the Cunningham Highway. That thing is terrible. That is truly the definition of a horrendous road. It really is. Okay. And I put on this little. I'll completely watch this. Try again. That was bad. That was like crap. Anyway, while that's heating up, we'll see if this copper's starting to melt it yet. I think it is. I've got a feeling that it is. It is nowhere near melting. That's terrible. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah, can't get my way. Don't like it. Have you made any big bucks from the channel? Nah, man. I do this as a hobby. Once upon a time, when I was like 18, I tried super hard to make money from YouTube. I think the most subscribers I've ever had is about 10,000. And then I just stopped doing it because I got a pretty good job in real life, which I'm still with. So now I just do it as a hobby. Right. Yeah, that's why I put music that isn't royalty free in the odd video that I do make every now and then. So, where is this recorded? This is in my shed. Have a look. It's a mess at the moment. This is my shed. So that's the project I've been working on all day, trying to get better at welding. Yeah, it's basically it's a guitar stand because I've only got one guitar stand but two guitars, so one keeps floating from the couch to the desk to the bed to the couch and just so on and so forth. So I want to get. I was going to buy one, and then it turns out buying the steel to make your own one was actually cheaper than buying one and getting it shipped to you. So I just did that. Plus, it forces me to try and teach myself to get better at welding because I'm really bad at welding. Like I can stick metal together, it looks like crap. Yeah. But hopefully today was good practice. I did learn a fair bit today, so I'm quite happy with that. Could have gone much worse. Tricky. If you're an experienced blacksmith, it's probably easy. I'm still a newbie, but I'm just going to bend that part right about there over, and this part we're just going to leave it blank for now because I want to see if it actually makes a ring when you tap it, and if it does, then we'll cut another piece and do that at a later date and make a proper. But I was thinking about last night. I would really like it if instead of having to go outside and stand there for like 10 minutes, call my dogs to come back inside, I could just sit there and go ding, 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 and the dogs go, oh, that means dinner time or a treat or pats or whatever, and they come running to me instead of me having to go, Macy, Bella. I don't know if you can see them. No, you probably can't from the angle. They're at the back somewhere. Alright, let's check out copper. Nearly melted. So you're going to get to see some cool shit in a sec. So if that's not enough incentive to stick around, please stick around. Anyway, we're about to take molten copper out. It's kind of cool. Well, it's not cool, it's very, very cold. I recommend sticking around for that. That is one of the many things that we learn probably wrong in this workshop. I'm going to have to put another little tiny bend back on. Hey. Just a little one, just a little bend. I don't know, I feel like all the skills I've been working on over the past couple of weeks are just gone at the moment. Probably just tired, being here all day, it's been hot, kind of wet. Anyway, so we have in here some molten copper. I've got to give it a bit of a stir though, because it's apparently not like that. Not like that. I'm just going to place that there. Yeah, that's being stubborn. Absolutely bloody stubborn. Back in the oven you go. I mean, it's not enough. At the same time, it kind of is. Like really, the only difference between an oven and a forge is one side of the other. You could probably bake a loaf of bread in a forge, it just wouldn't turn out very nice. seeing if it makes the ring that I want it to. Because it is only mild steel, so I'm not sure if it's going to ring like it should, but... Oh, thanks for saying thanks for the stream, but it's stubborn like somebody I know. Hello, Josh. How you going, Josh? For those of you who don't know, Josh is one of my very good friends. We've been friends for... He'll tell us in the chat. We tried to figure it out the other day. It's like... It's over 10 years. Probably closer to 15. It'd be very scary if it was more. But I know that username anyway. You better be on Xbox Live tonight, Josh. Because I'm going to be. I expect to see you there. Anyway, let that cool down. I'll grab the copper out. If it's melted. And then we'll pour it into this. And then I will turn off the forge. Because I want you to hear it as well. And you can tell me if it's a good ring or a bad ring. I'm going to bring it up. This should be just about good. That's nowhere near that. No, alright. We're going to blast it. Having kids is some more life advice for you. If your copper isn't melting, you need more power. If it's not working, push it harder, burn it harder, smack it harder, I don't know. But 20 years. Oh my god. Has it actually been 20 years? Fuck, we're getting old. Yeah, I'm obviously not online right now. Like, I'm on YouTube, but I'm not on Xbox. But I will be, if you're patient, if you're lucky. Also, if anyone else watching this stream has an Xbox Live, I'm always looking for people to join me in my parties on these games that people like Josh don't want to play, so feel free to just jump in. Because World War Z, I currently have 2 people that like playing it with me. Josh is one of them. I don't know if he likes it, but I reckon I've never been in a party with 4 people that I can talk to at the same time. It'd be good if I could. So just give that advice what you will. It's up to you. We'll talk about molten copper real quick. Yeah, don't put it in water because it'll blow up. But also, when you're melting metal in a forge, because once things get to a certain temperature, they all kind of take the same color about them, that really bright orange glow. The easy way to tell if your metal is melted when you take it out of the forge is if it looks like there's a mirror in there. If it's reflecting, it's melted. If it's not reflecting, it's not melted. And also, the more obvious part is if it's only a little bit of liquid, you can't really tell. But if it's a lot of liquid and you tilt and it all moves and you don't see chunky bits in there, it's good to go. Put my finger in it to check. I am not doing that. I am definitely not. I haven't yet been touched by molten metal and I don't particularly want to. Actually, which reminds me, I'm going to find my other glove. Now we've got 2 gloves on. So we've got 2 gloves ready to handle some molten metal. And you watch me pour this all over my anvil and it just completely misses the mold. The mold's just that. So I'm going to be making a little necklace for myself because I like flipping coins to make decisions, which there's an art to it, and I'll explain that in a sec. But I've got to pour out some copper first and hopefully have it like really equal all the way through. I'm going to be pouring it in that, which is quite a small mold compared to the crucible that I'm pouring it from. So this may go horribly wrong. I may set my entire anvil stand on fire, which is hardwood, soaked in oil to keep burrowing pests out of it. So if it catches fire, it'll burn, but it's also hardwood, so it's going to take a little bit to catch fire. We'll see. Because I reckon I can say I was going to do that. I'm going to put you down on the... I can't put it down on concrete. I'm just going to set it on top of the porch. Alright, we'll turn that off. Far out. Anyway, did I not say I was going to do that? I said I was going to do that, and I bloody well did it. So we should be able to test this piece of steel now. See if it's got a nice ring to it. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to hang off of that. I'm going to give it a tap with the hammer. And we're going to see how it sounds. And if it sounds good, I'll be a lot more careful with the next one. I'll make like a delicate one. No, there's absolutely no sound to it. Oh, hold on. Oh, actually, it does. It's not like loud, but it's got a like ooh to it. Is it? I'm not the only one that hears that, right? Another good way to test it, because obviously my fingers will have a dampening effect on it, is to just. Yep. Okay. So that didn't work, but yeah. So it kind of works, but at the same time, it doesn't. I do have this though. So you remember a while back when I made that photo frame and it turned out horribly wrong, and I talked about how horribly wrong it turned out. Check it out. Hey, Bells, what's going on? I'll grab it. I'm just going to chuck that in the quenching liquid. I had to put vinegar in it so the dogs stopped drinking it. Can you believe that? I had to stop my dogs from drinking water that I quench hot metal in. There must be something about the minerals in it, but so this is the photo frame that turned out poorly. So this has got a metal hanger, which is what the plan would be, to have a metal hanger. If I just... That's got too many dampeners on it. I still don't know what to do with this. It's a scrap piece of steel. I don't know what to do with it. That's a bloody waste. Bloody waste. Anyway, so I'll get these off of the... Because there's little lumps of copper on my anvil now, and I've got to remove them. And we'll get started on this Gambrel. So, you remember how I was telling you about you can leave your forge off and not have to rerun it if it's hot enough. There we go. Gives a reassuring thump. We'll get that copper off of my anvil, and then we'll have a look at making this Gambrel. So it's got to be 600 in length, so I'm going to extend it out. And then we got an extra 50 mil on either end to turn into hooks. So all I'm going to do is draw them out into like a really sharp point. Not really sharp point, because if you make it too sharp, it'll dull too quick. We're going to turn it into a semi-sharp point. So that's what we're on about. We're going to do that right here. Pressure's not on. Perfect. So grab this. Just like real carefully put it on top here. But we got our nice copper thing that I can turn into a necklace or something. So my idea is I'm just going to make a coin, and I hear you say, why don't you just get a coin and drill holes through and turn that into a necklace? I didn't think about it, so it's a coin that I always use for coin flips that I got in Japan, but it's too pretty to drill holes through. And also I'm pretty sure, I'm also pretty sure that you can't drill holes in Australian money, something about vandalising legal tender or something like that. So to just be on the safe side, I thought I'll work with some copper again, I'll make myself a necklace and see how that goes. So that's cooling down. It's going to take probably another 15 minutes to cool down properly before I can start handling it. Yeah. If in doubt and you're trying to find out if something's too hot to handle, don't touch it. Just drop water on it, and if the water steams and sizzles straight away, don't use it. But also, if it's red hot, it's still too hot to handle regardless, so just don't touch it. Unless you've got a nice long metal implement like a pair of tongs. So, anyway, yeah, I got to go pick that up because that's just going to sit there and annoy me, and it's going to be a problem. Yeah, I'll show you the guitar stand in a sec. Is that Hannah Field? Hey, if you're in the chat and you got a keyboard spare, just I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say target Hannah Field, but then I realized probably can't do that with YouTube guidelines. It's okay, I know her, but give her all the burns that you can think of. In a friendly manner, in a bantery manner. I didn't realise you had a YouTube account with your fake gaming name on it. You said, attempting to, I don't know, do something. But, yeah. So the kind of crappy thing about graphite crucibles like that one there and the graphite mold is that they are consumable items, so they will eventually just break down into graphite powder or carbon. And it's the same with the forge. Anything made of steel, if you expose it to heat enough times, there will be nothing left. Because you know that nice grey stuff you get on steel when you heat it? It's called scale. A lot of people call it mill scale as well. I don't know why it's called mill scale, because this isn't a mill and I can make it. But basically it'll get to a point where there's nothing left. It'll just be, it's like rust, it's iron oxide. Apparently really good for you. Apparently the cure-all for most things is blacksmith water, which is just iron oxide dissolved in water. I don't think that's true. I wouldn't suggest it. That sounds like an old, I don't know, myth to me. I'm pretty sure it's a myth. So, like I said, all I'm doing is just drawing this out to like a point, and then I'm going to do that at the other end as well. And that's going to be the main shaft of our Gambrel. I'm still trying to decide, because it's got to be carrying in a pack, so it's got to be lightweight. I suggested a sort of chain and bar one to my brother, and he said, "Nah, I want to get one that's like normal, what people use." So I figured, Caucanos Mostos, why not make both? And then let him decide whether he wants the chain Gambrel or one that's that long, because sticking that in your pack, yeah, it's not heavy, but it takes up a lot of space. And that's going to take up a crap ton of space, but it's up to him. He'll be the one carrying it, because I have never shot a deer nor butchered one. I would like to learn, because I think it's a pretty handy skill to have. Like, meat's really expensive at the moment, and New South Wales just lets you, if you have a license and you're affiliated with a club and go through their licensing process, lets you get a license to shoot in the state forest, which is heavily controlled, which is good, we like that. Gun control is actually good. And they let you go in the state forest and shoot pest animals, and if you want to, you can take the pest animal as meat, but you have to have a license. I think it's called an R license from New South Wales DPI to do it. But it's really not it, because it ticks two boxes: conservation, and you're allowing people to shoot the pest animal, which is also conservation, but also helps you because you don't have to fund the pest management campaign, and helps them because they're allowed to keep the meat. It's a win-win situation all around. And like, yeah, you have to book the park in advance and stuff. It's a pretty well thought out system. Like I thought, there's going to be a lot of flaws with that. I looked into it. Yeah, there's a couple of flaws. But I mean, for the whole park, pretty bloody well thought out system. Public good, that's it. Public good. drawing out metal, drawing out steel is like one of my least favourite things. I don't mind it, but I also hate it at the same time because it's so much hammering. Okay, anyway, I'm going to grab the bigger hammer because this one's just not cutting it at the moment. So, ouch! I call this one the forearm destroyer. It's a lot heavier than it looks. And believe me, you feel it after you're doing that for a little bit. It starts to hurt your forearms. But it draws out steel a lot quicker. But I think that's maybe a 300 gram ball peen. I'm terrible at judging weights. I'd say that's 300 grams. It's probably written on here somewhere. That's right. So I bought this ages ago. This is a super craft hammer. Tell you what though, that is probably bought that just after high school. Same handle and everything. It's starting to see wear now though. It's actually getting used now. Get one end of it done and we'll get the other end done, but I'm, because I've been in the shed all day, I probably won't figure out what we're doing after that, but that copper should be just about ready. I reckon that'll be nice and cool now. Look at this. Get this, grip it really, really, really awkwardly with the tongs, and just go, boom, done. Put that down. Hopefully it's not going to make the bench catch on fire. Put that one down too. Hopefully that won't make the bench catch on fire. No, cool. So, that is our casting copper ingot. And what I really like about casting copper is if you get the temperature ranges just right, I'm trying to get the light to reflect off of that. You see it gets that nice little rainbow effect through there. It's probably a little bit porous, so long as it's mostly solid, I can work with that, but that's that done. And now that's cool enough that I can now put it in the water to cool it down. Don't do it when it's glowing. That's what I have learned. It still sizzles a little bit. Move around a bit more. Might get a little bit more steam come off of that. Nah, it's good. It's still rather warm, but yeah, so that's one of the parts that missed the mould. But that's good thickness to work with to make a necklace. It's not too heavy. And I really like that copper effect, that rainbow effect that's gone through there. So basically all I'll do is just draw a circle on that, cut it out, and the parts that I cut off that I don't use, they just get chucked straight back into the crucible to be turned into something else. So maybe that's something I'll invest in, is an actual foundry so I can melt aluminium and brass, because I've got plenty of scrap stuff sitting around that I thought would have a use, and then I moved out of my house that I was doing up, and now it doesn't have a use anymore. So I'll kind of just use it for something, I don't know. But can't go wrong with having a couple spare ingots of brass and copper and lead. Lead's not too bad, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So I'm going to switch back to this one because it takes longer, but that bloody big hammer, the forearm destroyer, it's just not delicate enough for my liking. So I'm having to constantly straighten it when I'm using that one to draw it out. That is how I've gotten so good at scraping pieces of metal. Just because my hammer control, yeah, it needs lots of work. Turn that up because it's not heating stuff up quick enough. Oh, there's more comments. Bro, I missed the shout out you did. I basically just told people to talk shit. Is the shop making the most useful stuff? Oh, in the shop making them? Yeah, not really. Basically, I just take on a bunch of projects that have little to no impact on the world around me, but I don't know, I think there's something cool about if you have an idea in your head and you have the means to do it. You don't have to have much, because like this whole setup, maybe $500. You don't have to have much at all. The biggest part is getting somewhere to do it. And this shed has lights, so I think it's really cool that I can just make gifts for people for Christmas and don't have to buy them. So, how you doing, man? Good. I remember you. Good to see you too. Yeah, I'm doing good. Real good. I've just spent all day in the shed welding and then grinding back my terrible welds and welding again. And I've finally started putting the first coats of cold gal on it's basically like a piece of furniture that I'm welding up. Started putting the first coat of cold gal on it, and then while I'm at work, every evening when I come home I can just do the primer and then eventually move on to the paint. So it's good. It's been a good day. It's been a productive day. It's been a long day. It's been a shell day, and I've had my fair share of mistakes that I've had to fix. But so far, so good. I was saying, have a day where you sweat, you swear, and you get stuff done. It's a good day. Good day. Plus, has the advantage of when I go back to work, I don't feel bad about wasting my days off. Not that you have to do something to have your days off not be considered wasted, but for me, I have to do something. I have to make something or improve something. I don't know, it just tickles my brain. Tickles my brain really good. Starting to terminate that out to the point, getting there eventually, and then it'll just be a matter of cleaning it up so I don't have to do a whole bunch of sanding and filing. And then that'll be one end done. Not one end done, one end done. I don't know. Maybe I'm going about this wrong. Think like, yeah, it's good having hooks on it. Fixed hooks, but what if your hooks are on a swivel? And that way they pack away flatter? I don't know. Does that make sense to you what I'm saying? Like instead of having two fixed hooks that are going to inevitably put holes and stuff unless you wrap them up every time, is it better to have them hanging on a hook? But then I suppose it's just the same thing, it just moves around a little bit. So the holes will probably be worse. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out the bum. something slipped down, maybe it's my dog. Hold on. Nope, something fell down. No clue what fell down, but something did. Anyway, there. That's what I'm up to in the sheds. But yeah, we're nearly done with the one. Because my brother's passing through Warwick in like a couple of days, so I kind of have to have it ready these days off, and I've got just today and tomorrow. But really, it won't take me all that long to do one up. It's just, it's a lot of drawing out, and my arms are already tired. But the show must forge on. Stop being angry enough with it. Something up or poke through something. I found that instead of having it all the way around because it's susceptible to kinking, or instead of having it four-sided because it might bend, for some reason if you make it two-sided, but it really comes from a really sort of short taper, so it starts and thins real quick, it doesn't seem to plunge in as quick. I don't know, I haven't got a whole lot of experience, but that's just what I've found so far. So with this one, exactly what I'm going to do. Now I've got nicely tapered out. I mean, I wouldn't say nice. Now I've got to tape it out. Last 5 minutes that I did in the last 20 minutes before that. You know why? Anger. Gonna get more angry with it. Straight needs to be done on it. That's what we've got it to, is like that little point. And then, yeah, a bit of a clean up too, because you can see how it bulges on one side. We're going to fix that up, give it a clean up, cool it off, and then we'll start on the other side. And hopefully that goes much quicker than that one did, because that felt like it took ages to do that. I don't know, I feel like my forge might be running out of gas. Yeah. Good thing, I always carry a spare cylinder on me. Because it's clean, burn, fuel. Hopefully he's got that reference. I don't know what to do. I didn't watch a whole lot of King of the Hill when I was a kid, because I didn't have, what do they call it? On-demand TV, I think it was called. Like, I was going to say Foxtel. Yeah, those ones. My grandma did those, so every time we went there, we just binge cartoons on Nickelodeon that we couldn't see on normal TV because they refused to play them. That was back before digital TV, kids. There used to be whole channels that were just static. I shit you not. I'm sounding like an old man now. I'm probably a bit more. What do you mean by 30s, Mark? I have seen some of the content because I didn't realise this, but I knew you could live stream on YouTube Shorts. I didn't realise that you could watch only live streams on YouTube Shorts. I've seen some of the content out there. I'm glad I'm not doing that skinny rinse. Stuff. There are some absolute shockers out there. But there's other people like there's like the Vietnamese dude that just chops bamboo all day, and it's actually quite mesmerising. Yeah, he just sits there and cuts up bamboo. I think he's making fence palings or something. It was, yeah, pretty cool. Like, I like that side of Shorts where people are either playing an instrument or making something, even if it's something mundane like knitting. I don't, no offense to knitters, it's just I find it boring, it's not for me. It's kind of like tennis. I play tennis, I don't play tennis, but I would play tennis, I would hate to watch it. If you forced me to watch tennis, you'd be my enemy in a heartbeat. That's one end done. So I was going to give that a quick little clean up. So I make sure everything's straight. Go down. And completely mix the wedge stuff in. While I'm at it. Hey. Hey. You can go. Where's the other one? There's another one down there. Oh, come down. Yeah, muscle. Oh, you last. That'll do. Anyway, it's cool enough now. We'll turn that off for now, because basically this is what we've made. So we've got this pointy bit here. So may not be pointy enough, but you can always fix it with an angle grinder. And I do need to take a little bit off the end anyway, because when you, if that's going to focus, ow, that's still hot. I don't think it's going to focus. It's not going to focus. Anyway, I'll just explain it as best I can. So when you smack steel down to a point, basically it does this thing where it, actually I do have something that I can show you that pretty much visualizes the whole thing. Ah, that's hot too. Everything's hot. So you can probably see it with this one, how it's like squeezing in on itself. And so there's a bit of a concave bit in the middle. I have forgotten what it's called, but basically when I compress this side and this side, the metal wants to curl over, but it doesn't necessarily move the middle of the metal. And that's how you get this like fold over stuff. And that's where a lot of, that is really hot. That's really hot potato. But yeah, any hints, get a gal bin for your quench. You can go deeper. Yeah, I've got a galvanized bucket there. So that's what I've been using for now. Last one I blew up. Actually, I'll show you this. So there is a short on my channel. You can find it if you so wish, of me putting some molten copper in a quenching bucket, and it blows up. This is what happened to the bucket. I kept it as a reminder to myself, because there's a fair bit of space in the shed, and also as a reminder to myself to not do that again, because if you stick molten copper in water, it will do this. I was lucky I was crouching down, because I would have got showered with steam and bits of copper if I wasn't. So don't know why I was crouching down. I think my back was just playing up really bad that day, so I had to crouch down. I couldn't bend, so I was like, just crouch down, and it seemed to save me. So back pain can save lives. Anyway, not that it would have killed me, but it wouldn't have been very pleasant. Anyway, so yeah, metal pinches in on itself, so I'll be grinding that down anyway, and while I'm at it, I'll just give it a quick sharpen. But oh, I keep forgetting it's hot. It's not hot enough to burn me, it's just hot enough to make me go, ow. So yeah, it could do with a bit more of a straighten, but can I hold it at this end? Yeah, perfect. It's cool there. So yeah, I'll be giving that a grind down, but we're going to start on the other end. It is the fish lipping, fish lipping. That's I think I heard it called something else, but yeah, basically that's what I was on about. Far out, I keep doing that. It's not magic, I didn't just do a magic trick, although it did look like it. Chat, somebody clip that. Yeah. That felt cringy, even to me, I'm sorry. But yeah, we're going to heat up this end now. I'm not going to touch it with my glove hand. And you can see that when they cut it for me, they accidentally wet the end a little bit. That's alright. I'm very good at fixing bent things because I bend things a lot myself. But anyway, I'll show you what I've been working on today because it's almost time for a recoat. I'll just bring it over because it's that heavy. I was worried it was going to be heavy. It really isn't. It's like kind of heavy. This is what I was in the shed building all day. So, $30 to whoever can guess what this thing might be. I'm not going to hold it too close because I don't want you inspecting the welds, but it's got shelves on one side and some form of storage on the other. And it's also got cross braces. This side's really stable and this side wasn't so much, so I fixed that. But yeah, it basically just needs a paint now, and then I need to find rubber feet that will fit on the bottom so I don't scratch up the floor with rental and get in trouble for it. So that was what I was working on all bloody day. Yeah, so tell me what I should build next week. We'll have another go at a bell, but I think I need to get different steel for it. Computer desk. Nah, not a computer desk. Yeah, I'm gonna build a like a tool caddy, I guess you could call it. But it's just gonna be steel, so because the budget steel place here. Also, if you're ever passing through Warwick and you really need to get steel, these guys aren't a sponsor, I just got to shout them out. Budget steel, I thought the steel for all that was going to cost me near $200 because timber for a comparable project probably would. Went there, ordered all the steel and then some more for like forge stuff. It would have been well over 20 meters, linear meters worth of steel in angle iron, square bar, round bar. $50. Budget steel and Warwick. I'm pretty sure there's also one in Gympie or Gladstone. Hit them up because the steel prices, I'm pretty sure we can't beat it. It's all like GM 250 steel, which is basically just mild steel, but so you can't go making swords and shit out of it, but really good stuff. And especially if you're doing beginner forging projects or whatever, like me, because I'm a complete amateur of this, it is the place to go because you can buy square bar from like 6 mil right up to ridiculous sizes, and box steel and all that good stuff, and painted box steel, hot dip, gal box steel, and it's good. Can't recommend it enough. It's a great company, and the guys there are pretty cool too. So yeah, if you're ever finding yourself passing through Warwick, hop in for a cuppa, eh? Budget steel. I'll meet you there because chances are I'll probably be there buying some steel. I make a lot of mistakes, so I order a lot of steel. What would also be great is, and it probably wouldn't be that hard to make because I've got so much like angle iron left over. I could probably make something that just extends out to about, say, here. So when I've got long pieces like this that only need the very butt end of the heater, I have to stand here and hold on to them, otherwise they fall out. I don't know why I dropped it on purpose. And instead of me having to stand here and do this, I can just rest them on this little, or better yet, have it on an angle so they sit up. So they're not going, oh yeah, gravity, I'll take some of that. That's the beauty of it. And I find metalwork, because because I tried woodworking, and I was no good at it. But metalwork is a lot more forgiving. I've probably said this before, because if you cut off too much, you can just add more with the welder. You can't do that with timber. And I'm sure people who work with wood would say the same thing about metalwork, that timber's really forgiving. I don't know, I'm not very good with my hands. I seem to be at my worst when I'm working with timber. And you should see some of the handles I've made for some tools. Absolute shockers. Absolute shockers. And that's even with the rotary belt sander and everything over there. Absolute shockers. Bloody hell, we're nearly an hour already. And it's 6:30, so I probably should jump off. Might have to come for a visit next to go to Harvey Bay. Yeah, man. But you're in Northern Territory, aren't you? Because I was watching some of your videos and you're up near Northern Territory, and that is a hell of a drive. I've got family that live in Harvey Bay. I haven't been there for years though. Last time I went there, it's a bustling metropolis now, but before that, it was a couple of years, and that was Harvey Bay was like a sort of big country town then. It's way bigger now. Yeah, I used to live in Rocky. Okay, yeah, so I'd imagine you would have family in Harvey Bay. Rocky's not bad. One of the blokes I work with just transferred from Rocky, so this movable stand. It's that T top welded to yeah. So I thought maybe it was a thing because I can't be the only person that's come up with that idea. That's what I've always thought. If an idea sounds good to me, I'm not the first person to come up with it. Because it doesn't mean I won't not make it. I'm definitely going to make it. That'll be not tomorrow's project, because I want to finish that off and finish this off as well, but that'll be next week's project. I'll just weld that one up. And I even have in my possession a 10mm wing nut, so I can make it so that to adjust it, I don't even have to grab tools out. I can just unscrew the nut, screw the nut. That's a lie, it's not a wing nut, it's a wing bolt. I didn't realise they were a thing. Now I know. so learn from that. Measure 3 times, cut once, and I was only measured twice, but I always seem to muck it up, so I measure 3 times. And then not only that, double check that you're using the correct piece for the correct part. That's the problem with most of the projects I do. Because I write up plans for them, but they're not detailed IKEA instructions. It's normally just a sketch on a piece of paper with measurements on it. Which is great and all, because it gives you what the final product should look like. Talks nothing about the process. And that's how I end up using the wrong piece for the wrong part. So I made it work anyway. Just had to make a couple more adjustments, so now I've got a lot of little useless bits of just 1 inch of cut from angle line. But I had this crazy idea. I don't know if it worked. It's probably going to be a lot like Bella was talking about. My crazy idea is, if I got a bunch of stainless steel wire or something thereabouts, even vinyl coated wire, what have you, and got all my little cuts and just drilled little holes in them and hung them from a common place, would I technically be able to make a wind chime out of that? I think for the most part I would. So I'm going to have to go, again, probably next week. I'm going to be a bit busy tomorrow and stuff, but I was thinking, I can make a wind chime. And so that way, my yard can always sound like the sound of smacking steel. Because who wouldn't want to listen to this noise all afternoon? Probably not my neighbours, I don't mind it. I should be wearing hearing protection or something. It's not that loud. It sounds loud, a lot of the sound doesn't even make it out of the shed. Yeah. Oh, I saw that a big comment got posted. I should probably check that. Oh. Known as a blacksmith's boy. Yeah. Heavier hammer, I certainly do. So I was talking about it before. I've got this one's a 4-arm destroyer. I need an intermediate, because that's 1.8 kilos. I want something that's just over a kilo, and I do have a hammerhead for that. But the problem is, all it is, that's still bloody hot, that one, is just a double-sided mallet, and I need to change that, but to change that I need a drift to make sure I don't make that eye goal cattywampus. And to make a drift for it, I need to use a big hammer, and a drift for this one has to be tool steel, which I've got over there, but it's really thick, like steel or that I have to hammer down. So I'm kind of like, I know I have to do it. It's a project I have to get to, but it's one of those projects I'm really delaying at the moment because it's going to be a lot of effort. And it's basically going to be me sitting here with this hammer all day, just going ping, ping, like that. Ideally, I would like to have a power hammer, but those things cost a lot of money. And I don't want to buy a brand new one. I want to get like an old one and do it up, which will probably be put up poorly, but make a wind chime. But the best ring comes from hard steel. Yeah, it does. I just found that out too. I'm trying to make a bell before out of just mild steel, and it's just like a dull ring. And I've got a bloke at work who's doing up a car, and he reckons he's just going to throw away the springs. And I was like, no, don't. I want the springs. Give them to me. 2.2 pounds. Yeah, so it's about a kilo, isn't it? 2.2 pounds. Yeah. So that's my plan. I do have the hammer ready for it, but the problem is I've just got to make the drift, and like it is a substantial piece of steel that I have to hammer out to make a drift. And when it comes to making hammers, I wouldn't even try to punch out a hammer eye by hand. It's just that's like you watch the power hammers do it, and they're sitting there going whack, 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 whack. I can't imagine what it'd be like trying to do it by hand. I I imagine it would take a very, very long time. Pointing in the same direction. Well, that's a happy little accident, isn't it? Yeah, most of it. I'm going to call it quits there anyway, guys. I've been in the shed all day and I'm very tired, very sore. And it's been over an hour anyway, so I have been here long enough, taken up enough of your time. But yeah, Speedgrass Forge, shout out to him again. Thanks for popping by, man. I am going to make some hardy tools, and I was looking at your video on how to make them, so I didn't even, seriously didn't even consider, because I was, I've got to hammer it square and then make it fit in the hole. And then I saw how you just plonked it in the hole and just hammered it in there. I didn't even consider that. That's a smart idea. That's called working smarter, not harder. But we've got our second sort of pointy bit. Yeah, I'll continue this by myself, but basically the plan will be that I'll just bend these up at a slight angle. And the idea is that the hind legs of the deer sit on the hooks, so it'll probably be about, I just want to make sure I'm not gripping it too hot. It'll probably sit about there, about 600 mil, and it just gets hoisted up into the tree, and then you can field dress the deer. It's not for me, it's a present for someone else. But that's just the main shaft, and then there just has to be a hangy bit, which, truth be told, I could probably just use a chain for that, so it can sit flat as that in your back. But anyway, large ball peen hammers and cashies. Yeah, I've bought a lot of really handy, one of the tools I use as a Christmas gift. I should have kept that myself, because that was a good hammer. That was heavier than that one, but it was because the handle was stuffed. I had to replace the handle, but it was a ball peen that was the one that I turned into the cross peen. And I should have kept that one for myself. I remember saying that too, but oh, that's still hot. Ow. But yeah, so as in cash converters, because I don't think there is one in Warwick, but I will go have a look. I didn't burn myself, by the way, I'm fine. It was just one of those things where it's like you touch something, you go, ooh, that's hot. Not bad for a home built anvil too. Yeah, so that was home built as well. Did you use the old railway line trick? Because I honestly, the house that I bought, there was so many posts for the fence that were old railway lines, which, I mean, I can't blame them. They're pretty sturdy fence posts, but it was a real thick one. And before I bought the anvil, I was thinking, oh, maybe I should make one. And then I looked at, because you got to cut into them, and you need a pretty decent angle grinder for that. And it was just a lot of work to make one. And that was back in the day when I was like, oh, it's too much work, I'm not going to do it. He says, after just talking about not making a punch and making an appropriate hammer because it's too much work. I will, it's just I don't feel up to it at the moment. But now that Christmas is over and things are calming down a lot, I'll probably definitely get around to it. Probably before Feb, I'd say. But yeah, so you can see I've been out in the shed all day. Oh, I'm very tired. It's been good. It's been a good day. Yeah, I've got to put another coat on that thing again. There. It's called Tiny, weighed about 60 kilo. Yeah, that's double. That is double what I got here. It was a cut up forklift time. I don't even consider that, eh? But yeah, that's 30 kilos, that one. It's not bad. And for a cheap anvil, it's not too bad. I've gone around and dressed the edges again. It's starting to get a couple little divots in it, which I'd imagine after a bit of use you start getting them. Probably not I suppose if you were doing this full time and you were making tools all day, every day, that would be worn down way more than it is. But my hammer control isn't great, so I've missed the work a lot and put divots in it with a hammer, which isn't great, but sometimes you do these things. But yeah, anyway, everyone, thanks for popping by for another episode of Smackin, Steel and Talking Shit. I'm pretty sure this was episode 4. Maybe it was episode 5. I don't actually know. It's like, because I was sitting on the stairs having a break and thought, oh shit, I should actually do a live stream tonight because I haven't done one for like 2 weeks. But yeah, so that's that. I'm going to go have dinner and probably go to bed pretty early tonight, I reckon. But thanks for popping by. I'll see you in the next one. Speargrass Forge, good to see you again too, man. Yeah, whenever you get time, pop by because you always have handy advice and I appreciate it. Oh, anyway, I'm going to take off. So, got it for free because they just scrap them. That's crazy what people throw away, hey? Like that. And then people look at you weird if you go bin diving for like really good recycled steel. But joke's on them because you can make some good tools with that stuff. There is nothing shameful about bin diving unless like it's in general waste because most of the time there's nothing good in there except trash. But some people don't recycle. Some people can't recycle because they don't have recycle bins, which is a goddamn crime. Anyway, I'll see you around. Thanks for popping by. Adios, bro amigos.